Hello YouTube! So, as some of you may or may not know, I just finished playing almost every single Silent Hill game, and that includes Silent Hill 2 Remake. So I thought, what better time to do a tier list of every game in the franchise and let you guys know what I think and the games I think everyone should play or no one should play. So just a bit of background before we get started. If you are new to the channel, I have played a ton of Silent Hill. I played Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3 on release day when they came out. I have speed ran Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I had record in Silent Hill 1 and 3 for quite a while. Also, something I'm a little scared to admit, I may have watched Silent Hill Ascension twice over. Regardless of any of this, I have played a lot of Silent Hill and watched a lot of Silent Hill. So I think I have a good idea on the quality of these games, but again, as every tier list is, this is my own personal opinion, so if it's different from yours, let me know in the comments, but I'm going to share with you the quality I think these games have. So let's get this bad boy started with Silent Hill 1. So this is the first Silent Hill game I ever played. When it came out, it was sort of slightly redefined survival horror. Resident Evil was a lot different than this game. This game had melee combat and it was way creepier. Like when this game came out, it was like the scariest game. At least that's how I remember it. And everyone talked about it like it was the scariest game ever made. With all that being said, the game has not aged the greatest. Like I still play it to this day. I speedrun it probably once every couple months and I really enjoy it still. But for a new player, the controls are really stiff. The story is actually still really good. It stars a character named Harry Mason. He's just looking for his daughter. He is the best dad ever, and that is what his character is. His character is just like father of the year, and I absolutely love him. He's incredible in this game. The dialogue and the writing is also pretty good as well. I think it's aged decently well, and the music is super well done. It is very atmospheric, and it sets the tone very well for every area and every cutscene. Myself, I love Silent Hill. I don't think I should sit here and rant about it because we all know, you know, it's the first of the franchise. It's a classic. Everyone knows that Silent Hill is a great game because if it wasn't a great game, we wouldn't have all these other games. Should you play it in 2024? I'm not sure. I'd say if you absolutely love the franchise and you've never played it and you really want to experience everything, yes, but go with warning. It is a very clunky PS1 game, and I don't think it's very easy to get your hands on either. You may have to play on a classic PS1 or emulator. I usually play on DuckStation myself. But yeah, Silent Hill 1, a classic. I highly recommend it, and I personally love it. All right, now I feel like the only game we could segue into with Silent Hill 1 is Shattered Memories. So I just recently played Shattered Memories, and I went for the horny Harry route. But it's hard to avoid. If you guys don't know, Silent Hill Shattered Memories is basically like a retelling of Silent Hill 1, sort of. Like, it's sort of a remake, but it's sort of its own thing as well. There's no combat. The only like gameplay or combat gameplay is during certain segments you are chased through this icy area by enemies and you just have to run as fast as you can, as far as you can, and once you go to the right direction, you're finally escape them. So this is basically like a story game, sort of point and click as well. So puzzles, story, point and click. Anyway, don't care about any of that. Harry Mason in this game is horrible. They butchered Harry Mason as a character in Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Like the very fact that you could go down a horny route for your story is crazy. But this game has multiple story paths. Like you can play the game how you want, and half of the game is spent like talking to, I think it's Dr. Kaufman as a therapist, and he'll ask you questions, you answer them, and then the answers you give and the actions you make during the playable sequences will dictate your ending. Anyway, when I played, you look at a mannequin, like a female mannequin for 2 seconds, and he goes, nice. You look at a picture of just a hot chick, and he'll just be like, ooh, Stacy, yeah. Like, he is an absolute horn dog. It's insane. Like, my mind was blown when I played this. I was very disappointed with how they handled Harry, because let me tell you, in Silent Hill 1, Harry Mason is an amazing character. Like, you can't help but just feel for Harry Mason. I think he's one of the best characters they've written in the whole franchise to this point, which isn't saying much, as we'll see later on, but still, they butchered him in Shattered Memories. But Shattered Memories is a fun little game. Like, I think think the puzzles they're really easy, but they're pretty creative and they're fun. I think the game is just like fun to play through. The cutscenes are nice, and I do like the therapy sessions and choose your own story kind of gameplay, but they really did take a poop on Silent Hill 1 though, seriously. You know, it's fine. I think Shattered Memories is a fine game.
Nice.
All right, so Silent Hill Origins, the origin story starring Travis. So prior to my marathon a couple days ago, I used to say that I really liked Silent Hill Origins. I thought it was one of the better Silent Hills. But upon my revisit, I was paying a lot more attention to the story. And I'm not going to spoil any of the story for the most part in this tier list, by the way, because I'm sort of making this for people that beat Silent Hill 2 Remake and they sort of want to play more Silent Hill. And this is a good guideline to get into them. Silent Hill Origins sort of just like, it's supposed to set up Silent Hill, but it sort of just makes it way more confusing and retcons a few things. And I don't know if I agree with everything this game does story-wise, but let's talk about it as a game. So the gameplay is relatively fun. It is like your classic Silent Hill. I'd say if I were to compare it to any Silent Hill, it'd probably be most similar to Silent Hill 1, where you're in and out of areas and you're running in and out of Silent Hill, or not in and out, you're running in Silent Hill to get from one area to the next all the time. You can use anything as a weapon. Like, I was shocked when I played this game. You could carry like 30 weapons at the same time, like a freaking fire pick, a golf club, a TV, a toaster, a bucket, a freaking katana. You could just, if he sees it, you could probably pick it up and hit enemies with it. So that's one of the best parts about Origins, where you can use anything as a weapon. But one of the bad parts about Origins is the gameplay. Like, using weapons is it's not that great. The gameplay is a little lacking. But you know what? Overall though, I think Silent Hill Origins has like decent level design. It has a decent soundtrack. Like, it's okay. You know what? I'm slowly realizing we need to add another tier onto this. But I think Origins it's okay. I don't really know where to put it though. Like, it's either high C or it's like B. But yeah, I don't know. I used to think of Origins as a B game. So you know what? Maybe I should stick with my gut. We'll put it here for now, okay? Now, as this goes on, I may change my mind on a couple things. But yeah, Origins, it's just like not much to say. You play as Travis the Trucker. Gameplay's all right. Levels they're decent. And it's just like a run-of-the-mill Silent Hill game. All right, a bit of a curveball here, but Silent Hill the Arcade. Now, to your guys' surprise, I actually played this at an arcade. One time I took a trip to Chicago and I went to an arcade, I think it was called the Galloping Ghost, and they had it set up, and me and fellow streamer RuneB played it together, and it was actually pretty fun. Like, you fight like every enemy from the franchise. The story is incomprehensible. I don't even remember anything that happened because the arcade was extremely loud. It was fun. It's just like House of the Dead. You have your light gun, you shoot the screen, and every enemy from the franchise is there. I remember the main character, I think her name is like Tina or something. She looks exactly like Jill Valentine. Like, she looks like Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 1 Remake. Anyway.
What do you mean anyway?
Silent Hill Arcade, I thought it was all right. It was fine. It was okay. Like, I'd say it's like a C game. I don't know. I don't have any like hard feelings towards it. As an arcade game, it was fun. Up next is one game I haven't played, so I'm gonna make this quick. I watched another streamer Failmore play this. It's a mobile game. It has like one song, one sound effect. I didn't watch the whole thing, so this isn't quite fair, but who cares? Silent Hill Orphan is a D tier game. Let's go. The moment you've all been waiting for. Silent Hill Short Message. So this game came out, I think it was last year. It was a free game on PS5. Let's put it, the placeholder. It was a free game on PS5, and that is huge. A free Silent Hill game? Free 2-hour game. Brownie points. Silent Hill Short Message, I honestly don't hate it. I don't think it's like horrible. I think the story is fine. It's talks about like very, as most Silent Hill games do, it discusses very mature themes such as suicide and growing up in high school and dealing with bullying and relationships and family and trying to just get through life. But suicide is the main topic of Silent Hill Short Message, and I think it did a good job talking about that like sort of taboo topic. But at the same time, It felt like a very personal story for the devs. Like, it didn't feel 100% like Silent Hill. You know, I don't really know what to say about Short Message. Like, I'm sort of conflicted. It's not a good game, but I'm conflicted on how mid is this game. I think it had cool creature design. It had a decent, like, atmospheric soundtrack. It set up the atmosphere pretty well, but it did something that changes the franchise forever. It added something called the Silent Hill phenomena. So in Silent Hill Short Message, this is a spoiler, I'm sorry, but you know, it's a free game. You probably would have played it by now. And mute, skip to the next one if you haven't played it and you want to, because I think it's sort of worth playing. It added something called the Silent Hill phenomena. And what that is it retcons everything about Silent Hill, okay? And it makes it so Silent Hill as like a topic, as a brand to Konami, can be done anywhere. Silent Hill can happen anywhere. Silent Hill can happen in your backyard, because it's not Silent Hill, it's the Silent Hill phenomena now. So Silent Hill could just happen wherever. Anyway, I don't think it's atrocious, but I also think it's less fun than Shattered Memories and Silent Hill the arcade. But it's all right. All right, now to the star of the show. Silent Hill Ascension. I know. If you want to stand up, clap. If you're shedding a few tears right now, let me know in the comments. Oh, Silent Hill Ascension. So this bad boy, I watched twice. Well, basically twice and a half. Let me explain. When it came out, just to farm for content, and because it was fun, like, you know, I've played a lot of Silent Hill. Silent Hill is one of my main streaming games. It's a game that people come to me for. So it's something that I had to dive into. And trust me, if it wasn't a streamer, we wouldn't have touched this with a 10-foot pole. But I am. So I watched Ascension when it first came out. I was watching it daily. Every day when it would come out, I would switch to Silent Hill Ascension. Actually, let me actually explain what it is for those who don't know. Silent Hill Ascension is a playable TV show. So you go to this website called ascension.com. You can create your own customizable character with cosmetics that you earn on a battle pass, okay? And then you can make your character look however you want it to look. They looked terrible, by the way. The models were horrible. Anyway, something cool you could do with this is that you could buy tickets with fake Ascension money to then use those tickets to possibly get in something called a cameo, where your avatar that you made in Ascension was put into an episode of Silent Hill Ascension, which there's like fucking 200 of, and then you were there forever in canon. So that was the draw. That was how they got you to steal your mom's credit card and freaking spend all your money on Silent Hill Ascension, because you could get into canon. And now, mind you, most of the people, at least at the start of the show, that got their cameos in is just bearded ladies, which is fucking hilarious, by the way. Like, if you ever watch Silent Hill Ascension, keep your eyes peeled for the bearded ladies, because they are everywhere in that freaking show. When the game came out, movie, whatever the hell you want to call it, when it came out, we were watching it on stream every day. There were 5-minute episodes, and then after the 5-minute episode, it would play this like very, very samey, generic, linear, like video that you played on your phone or on the internet browser, where you just would like spam click. You would try to save one of the characters from the show in this like other world realm, and it happened after every episode, and it was almost the exact same every single time. It was horrible. So anyway, after about watching, like, I don't know how many we made it through, like 30 episodes, I told my chat, I'm like, guys, I legitimately can't do this anymore. I legitimately can't do this. So I quit watching. We went back later on, like when it was completely finished. I went back and did a 14-hour stream, watched the whole thing. I still have all my notes right here, actually. I still have all my notes right here, like everything about all the characters. The story is so convoluted. It makes no sense a lot of the time. And so many times they would actually just completely abandon a storyline. I know what some people are thinking. Well, that's because a lot of the show was choice-based. You would vote on what the characters would do in Silent Hill Ascension, and then the characters would do what was voted for. But you voted with money. You voted with your credit card. So it was just like, whoever has the most money gets to pick what the character does. Ascension is a pile of shit, dude. I watched it. We watched a little bit of it, and I watched it again for a marathon, like the whole thing. And then During our marathon a couple weeks ago, when I was playing through Silent Hill Homecoming, we had it as a translucent image at the top of the screen that was almost muted. And once I finished Homecoming and then I finished Short Message, then we actually full screen Ascension and watched the last few episodes. I digress. Sorry for the rant, but Silent Hill Ascension is a stain on humanity. It is a massive meme in my community and channel. I'm giving this an E. Silent Hill Ascension, it has a soft spot in my heart, not gonna lie, but it doesn't matter how big of a Silent Hill fan you are. Trust me, do not watch Silent Hill Ascension, all right? Maybe if you've played every single game on this list, sure, but you've been warned. Carl's the best character, by the way. The Silent Hill Homecoming, let's go. Silent Hill Homecoming. Yeah, I went into my Silent Hill marathon thinking that this would be the worst game. And to my surprise, it's not the worst game anymore, that's for sure. But Silent Hill Homecoming, it's okay. Like, okay, the only thing that's offensive, spoiler alert, is that this game makes it so Pyramid Head, he's just a guy. He's just the Silent Hill guy now. Pyramid Head's just the poster boy of the franchise because Homecoming was such a shit game that they had to do something to like bring a draw into playing it, so they added Pyramid Head, I guess. But this stars a character called Alex Shepard. Alex is looking for his brother, and everything is all weird. Like, we don't know much about his dad, and his mom is like senile, and everything's just weird in Silent Hill. But the story, it's okay. The atmosphere is okay. The soundtrack, you know, everything in Homecoming is just like mid. And that's a common trend with the Silent Hill games. If you guys have watched my Resident Evil marathon, this is like, it's like so many games are Resident Evil 0 quality, or maybe even lower than that, honestly, where they're like, I think they're okay games on their own right, but I hate saying this, as Silent Hill games, they're sort of just like, you know, they weren't doing the franchise any favors. Homecoming, it's all right. Oh, one thing is awesome about Homecoming. I think it has some really cool boss fights. Some of the boss fight design is really cool. There's one boss specifically that is extremely well designed. It's spoilers for a 20-year-old game. It's the doll boss. It's pretty cool. Do I recommend you play Homecoming? Not really. It's okay. But if you are going to play it on Steam, you can play it now on the PC version. There is a patch online. If I remember, I will put in the comments or in the details of the video. But yeah, Homecoming, it's okay. But where to put it though? Ahead of Memories? Ahead of Shattered Memories? Oh God, where to put Homecoming? Okay, it's better than Short Message, but I think you guys would crucify me if I put it higher than a D. Speaking of you guys getting mad at me, Silent Hill Downpour, baby. All right, this game has a soft spot for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Murphy or the story or the lovable characters, but you know, I recently played Downpour. I don't know why the hell I just said that. I already told you guys I did a huge marathon. But yeah, I recently played Downpour, okay? I liked it. I thought it was fun. Like, I actually enjoyed myself playing it. You know, I might even be controversial and slam it up here because I don't know why. I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. You know what? I'm actually... It's something about Silent Hill Downpour. I don't know what it is. Like, just like Shattered Memories and just like Homecoming and just like Origins, it's a mid game. Like, it's not that great, but there's something charming about Downpour, I think. I really like the music that plays when you explore Silent Hill. I really enjoy the small puzzles that are in some of the random houses throughout the overworld. I think a lot of the area's puzzle design is like decently well done. And I don't think the story is offensive either. When I played it, like, no, it's not great, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. Like, people treat it like it's Satan. Well, they treat a lot of these games like they're Satan, let's be real. But Downpour, I think, is one of the less offensive ones. You know, I think I'm gonna do it. Oh, okay. Please don't close the video, guys. Please, just keep watching.
Murphy, run.
Just trust me. We haven't got to the good stuff yet. All right, let's get this out of the way. P-Tizzle. So if you guys don't know what this is, it is a demo made by Kojima and Del Toro, I believe, and it was supposed to be a playable teaser for the next Silent Hill game. Next is in like years ago at this point. Yeah, it's just a hallway that you run around in a circle over and over and scary stuff happens. Now, I'm not going to get into the bread and butter of it because everyone knows about PT for the most part. And if you don't, well, I don't want to spoil it because if you do play it, you know, it's popular for a reason. This game revolutionized Steam indie horror games. Oh my God. After this came out, thousands of games where you go down a hallway and scary stuff happens and you loop in that hallway. Like, it's to this day, PT has inspired devs of horror games, and I'm sure other genres too, on how they are making their game. So yeah, one of the most influential games of all time, and it's just a demo. So that's crazy. But yeah, I think it's unfair that it's on this list in general because it's a demo. But you know, it's here. It's got to go in S. PT is a legendary game. All right, this is going to be my most controversial take. Please go easy on me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Maybe you all, you know what? You probably all agree with me. Silent Hill 4 The Room. People praise PT all the time, but you know what sucks? Silent Hill 4 gets swept under the rug. You know why PT is how it is? In my opinion, it's because of Silent Hill 4. If you don't know, in Silent Hill 4, there's a first-person section, which all takes place in your apartment, and you go in and out of your apartment all the time. And then there's like just a camera that follows you around, like classic Silent Hill camera angle. And in the first person segments in your apartment, it is just like PT. Like scary stuff happens here and there, depending on what you do, when you go a place, when you check this, when you check that. And your apartment also becomes cursed. And the curses, I think there's like over 10 different curses that could happen in your room. And it just makes scary stuff happen. It drains your health. It's really cool. It sucks that Silent Hill 4 doesn't get more credit for that. All right, and now this is where the praise stops. I hate Silent Hill 4. Okay, little story. I've been doing something called Bawktober for 10 years, and it's every October I will play horror games every single day, which I'm currently doing right now. And I'm streaming it every single day if you want to check out the Twitch stream or the YouTube stream almost every day. I used to make it a rule of Bawktober that I wouldn't rage quit any game. I wouldn't quit, I would finish it no matter what. I think it was on my 3rd year. I've played Silent Hill 4 The Room for the first time ever because when I was a kid, we got on an Xbox. I just never finished it because the Xbox was my brother's. Long story. So I played it again as an adult, and it's the very first game I ever rage quit during Bawktober. And from that point, I just didn't care about, you know, I don't finish games here and there depending on if they're good or not. I just recently played it on hard mode, and man, Silent Hill 4, here's the thing about this game. I think this game has like an incredible story. The main character, I think his name's Henry. He's like Ethan. He's just like crazy generic. And it, like the voice, dude, he talks in like slow motion and he moves in like slow motion too. Like everything Henry does is in like slow-mo. And he's just like, he is like the most boring character in the Silent Hill franchise. The story is really good. I think they have a genius story on their hands, and the first person segments in the apartment are really well done. I think they are very cool. But here's where my problem comes in and my frustration and everything. And it's not the escort. I do not like the level design. I do not like the subway. I don't like the forest, the water tower. Actually, the hospital, pretty cool. I like checking all the little rooms. When I first played the game and I got to the apartment, it goes hospital, then apartment, okay? Once you beat the apartment, spoiler alert, you redo every area again. And man, I was so excited when I was playing this game. I was like, I can't wait to finish the apartment to see what's next. And what was next was literally everything you already did, but slightly different. And now it's an escort mission too, on top of that. I think Silent Hill 4 The Room is like the most unfun game on this whole list. It's hard to put this somewhere because if you're watching someone play Silent Hill 4 that knows what they're doing, like if you're watching someone that's good at the game and they know everything about the story, they know all the little Easter eggs, and you watch like their whole stream or their whole YouTube video, it's great. Like it's amazing. The story's great. But when you play it though, God, the limited inventory, the backtracking, the confusing plus shitty levels, and the boring puzzles, and the boring main character, and the horrible enemy design. Tell me this. Tell me in the comments. I can't wait to hear it. Resident Evil 1, zombie. You shoot it a couple times, falls over, dies. Resident Evil 2, zombie. Ugh, like, you know, classic. Love shootings. Like, that's why those games are fun. You shoot the zombies, they're fun. Main enemy in Silent Hill 4. Floating zombie that's invincible, that could go through walls, that has a health draining aura, and that could also grab you. Why does the basic enemy in the game, the zombie equivalent, why does it have like 5 mechanics? Why is your zombie equivalent like the most stacked enemy ever? Why? Like, who thought of that? Who was like, okay guys, all right, we need our first enemy in the game. Let's do a floating invincible zombie that drains your health. Like, are you insane? Not to mention all the other enemies are annoying as hell too. Like the stupid bugs, the bugs. Who thought of that? Oh yeah. You're stun locked every time there's bugs in a room. You're trying to get through the room and you just get stunned every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds you get stunned. And the dogs spamming the jump. I digress. All right, listen, the twin victims, the big hand, like female looking ass baby face enemy, that's cool. Super cool design. But man, everything else, I don't know, guys. Listen, I like it better than short message, I'll tell you that, but I'm not a room enjoyer. I like, if this was a Silent Hill games that are fun to watch tier list, I'd have it up like here, like an S or something. But this is like, do I recommend you play this? God, no. It's on GOG if you want to. Prove me wrong. Go enjoy it. Love it. Try it out. Don't play on hard mode though, because it'll turn you into me. Anyway. I can't anymore. All right, we need a palate cleanser. Book of Memories. This game is garbage. All right, whoo, Nelly. What is next? Let's do Silent Hill 3. So, I love this game. It is probably my favorite Silent Hill game personally. I think it has the tightest combat, the hardest and best puzzles, the amazing level design, really good story that isn't confusing. You could follow it quite easily, and it has the best protagonist in the whole franchise, Ms. Heather / Cheryl. But I digress. I love Silent Hill 3. I highly recommend it. The only unfortunate thing is you can't really find a good way to play it right now. The PC version works, but you need to patch it and do a couple things to it to get it fully working. I'm not sure if it's on any other consoles. But yes, I love the sound design, the enemy design, the weapon variety is insanely good. The gameplay is probably at its peak there. If you don't think Silent Hill 2 Remake has the best gameplay, yikes, then Silent Hill 3 definitely does, because you can strafe, you can block, you have multiple different weapons, and every different weapon, if you have the katana out, you can overhead, you can stab, and then you can also do a 3-hit combo. That alone, just with the katana in Silent Hill 3, that's more gameplay variety than the melee weapons in all of Silent Hill 2 Remake. So Silent Hill 3, I would say, has the best combat, but it does everything very well. Now, is it everyone's cup of tea? Probably not. But it is one of the most solid survival horror games ever made. Easily one of the best Silent Hill games. And, light spoiler, it is a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1. And how they tie those two games together is amazing. I absolutely love Silent Hill 3. It's so good. Please play it. I don't want to spoil much. It's just an incredible game. Oh, and one side note before we move to the next game. Don't play on hard mode puzzles unless 2 things. You want the most challenging puzzles in the entire franchise, without a doubt, easily. And 2, if you haven't read Shakespeare, you literally can't solve the first puzzle. All right, let's get this out of the way right now. I haven't played. And what is this? Whatever it is, I haven't played it. Silent Hill 2 OG. Yeah, the GOAT. You know, this is most people's favorite. It's literally the best psychological horror game ever made. All right. Yeah, come on. It's Silent Hill 2. God tier sound design. God tier enemy design. Amazing story. Multiple endings. Crazy characters. Side characters having crazy stories. So much depth to everything in the game. Like, there's so much. There's like 100 like 5-hour lore videos on YouTube and all these like 500-page tweets. There is so much information on Silent Hill 2. You know, let's just pop it up. You know what? Between me and you, I'll put it above Silent Hill 3. Just between me and you. even though I like Silent Hill 3 a little more. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 is God tier and has might be in the top 10 best soundtracks ever in the history of games, okay? This is a good game we're talking about here. Now, has it aged that well? I think it's aged okay. But if you are going to play Silent Hill 2 OG, please play the enhanced version. There is a Silent Hill 2 on the PC. Search Silent Hill 2 Enhanced HD version, I think. Don't get it confused with the HD collection, by the way, because that is dog poop. Forgive my language. Play Silent Hill 2, one of the best games of all time. Silent Hill 2 Remake. We're saving the newest for last. So unfortunately, I'm going to keep this a little brief because I just did a full review of the game a few days ago. And if you want to watch that, the link will be in the details or at the end of the video. I absolutely love the sound design, atmosphere, enemy design, the new story beats. I think the character reimaginings are decently well done, and the voice acting to match is also decently well done for the most part. My only real complaints with the game are surrounding the sort of limited combat, the lackluster enemy variety, and I have slight issues with the pacing around like the prison and the labyrinth area. But one of my absolute favorite things about Silent Hill 2 Remake isn't necessarily about the game itself. It's more so that this game reviewed so well with critics and fans that there is now a new positive breath of life in the franchise. For what feels like the first time in a decade, you can go on social media, instead of seeing people trashing Silent Hill, you see people excited for new games, excited for the current games, excited to go back and check out other games because of how much they loved the new one. And that just makes me so happy. From being a fan as a kid, for the past decade, you go online and it's usually just people hating on Silent Hill or just pretending it doesn't even exist, while all the Resident Evil fanboys, sorry I'm in that club as well, are super happy with like every single year we're getting banger after banger. And now, finally, Silent Hill 2 Remake fans and Silent Hill fans in general are eating decently well. And yeah, I'm just excited for the future, as everyone is. So I really hope that Bloober could take the reins again and remake Silent Hill 1. And if that does well, maybe 3. And if that does well, maybe we'll even go up to 4. And the amazing thing is, even if we don't get any of those remakes, it is confirmed that there's multiple Silent Hill projects in the works. So that's amazing as well. So with all that being said, I think this game deserves an S in my opinion. I think it's a very strong title, and yeah, I think it's great. Now, before I go, fellas, if I were to think of the Silent Hill community as a whole, I think this is the list. But for me, this is the list. But let me know what you think. Let me know down below. Which game did you disagree with the most? Which game did you agree with the most? But in typical tier list fashion, it'll be people telling me to go to Silent Hill and experience that because of where I put some of these games on the list. But this is my opinion. You have your opinion, and I would like to hear it. And yeah, I love talking about Silent Hill. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I absolutely love this franchise, and I'm so excited to see it rejuvenize, and it's back with Silent Hill 2 Remake doing really well, selling well. Everyone, critics and audiences are happy. That is insane. I never thought we'd see Silent Hill make a comeback, especially with Bloober at the freaking wheel. So, you know, my mind is blown. I'm very happy, and I can't wait to see what's in store with Townfall and Silent Hill F, 2 other games that are being developed. And if Silent Hill 2 Remake sells well enough, I bet you we'll see 1 remake, 3 remake, and possibly 4. Because despite what I say about 4, I think it could make one of the best remakes in this whole list. If everything on this list got remade, Silent Hill 4 could be the best easily because it has a lot of potential. I digress, guys. If you liked the video, please peck that like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time.